Welcome to Walking with Jesus Bible Study. We're going to be in the book of Ephesians, chapter 6, verse 14. Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness. Stand there, having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness. And what is truth? Is this speaking about your truth or God's truth? It's speaking about God's truth. Because we don't know truth. We are of our flesh and we are evil. And almost everybody, those who haven't come to Christ, or those who are newly coming to Christ and haven't learned to control, growing up, a lot of people, not everybody, but most people just lie to be lying. They don't even have a reason to be lying. There's no need for them to be lying, but they just lie. A lot of people do it just to get attention or to switch things their ways, or, just for whatever reason. Just lie to be lying. Even when there is no need for it, no reason for it. But in the scriptures, Jesus called the Pharisees and the Sadducees liars, and that their father is the devil, that they're just like their father. Just lies upon lies upon lies come out of their mouth. And these are men that considered themselves above all the rest of the Jews, all the rest of the so-called chosen one of God, because they were holy men. They knew the word inside and out. They could quote it. They can point their fingers, and I like to call them Christian Gnosties, because they're just finger pointing, and you got to do this, and you're wrong, and look at me, I'm better than you because I know more than you. But they was liars, hypocrites. They may have cleaned themselves up on the outside, but their insides was dirty. See, when you come to Christ and you know the truth, the real truth, God's truth, and not your own, we are washed right. We are no longer dirty. We are made clean. You ever heard that saying? Filthy liar. Dirty liar. Just a dirty little liar, just a filthy little liar. It's dirtiness. It's uncleanness. When Jesus was about to get crucified, and Pontius Pilate said, "What is truth?" There was no words needed. Standing there, staring at him, he was telling him without saying a word, "You're looking at it. I am truth. I am the truth." So when the Bible tells us to seek God, to seek his face, and says God is truth, then we need to what? Seek the truth. When you're putting on the armor of God, what is it? The belt of truth. What holds up everything all together? Your belt. It holds the pants up. It can keep the shirt tucked in. The belt of truth. God's truth. There's so many people that get out here and do preaching and teachings, and they're not teaching in truth. They're teaching from their opinions. They're teaching from man's truth, not God's truth. And see, even the Sadducees and the Pharisees, even though they had memorized the Torah word for word and would point it out and would use it to control people, there were certain things that they would twist God's truth about to fit their agenda. And Jesus called them out on it. And that's why he called them liars. And your father is the father of all lies. And they couldn't take that conviction. They couldn't take that correction. Because to them, they was these holy men that spoke the truth. But Jesus was saying otherwise. You're not speaking the truth. You are liars. And your father is the father of all lies. That's what happens with a lot of religions, these dominions, denominations. I don't know why I said dominions, but might as well be the same thing. There is no mistakes when it comes to that. Huh? No coincidence, right? It's people taking the truth and twisting it to fit their own agendas. And what is that more? See, God is about freedom. Coming to Christ is getting freed from the bondage of this world, from the sins of this world, from the lies of this world. And when you take a truth and twist it to your own agenda so that you can what? Control other people into being in the same way as you instead of in the truth of God. Now you got people in bondage. And this is what lies do. They keep you in bondage of false doctrine and of this world. How do we know what's truth? How do we know when people are speaking God's truth and not their own? By being in the Word. Because God is truth. God is the Word. The Word is truth. The Word doesn't change. People change the Word. So if you want to seek God, you want to seek the truth, then you need to seek His Word. You need to be in His Word. This Bible tells us over and over again to be in this Word day and night. Right? Because God knows. He knows the beginning and the end. And He knows that throughout all these generations, there's always going to be these so-called false prophets, the ones that self-proclaim and call themselves prophets when they are far from it. Nothing about them is a prophet. But it's this devil always imitating God. And everything that he imitates of God is the complete opposite of God. So if God is speaking the truth, then these prophets are doing nothing but speaking lies. Keeping you in the dark. Because the truth shall set you free. The truth is light. God is light. And if you're being told lies, aren't you being kept in the dark? That's why a lot of times when people find something out and the truth has been revealed, they realize I've been in the dark the whole time. They was blind. Because what happens when you're blind? It's dark. God is light, and when you're in the light, what you can see? You can see the traps. You can see the snares. You can see the pits that the enemy has laid. So be in this Word for yourself. Don't rely on the pastor to preach everything to you. And that the only knowledge that you gain of this Word is from somebody else's mouth. Because you don't know who is deceiving you. How could you? If you're never in this Word for God to speak to you and to tell you otherwise. There are certain people that all have their favorites. Like, I have a couple of favorites who I follow and I listen to the Word. But I'm not going to rely on everything that they say. Because even though they're good and even though they supposedly speak fire, only way I know that they're speaking the truth is because I read this Word for myself. Don't hold anybody else besides yourself responsible for God's truth and for your salvation. Because they can't save you. Only God's truth and God's Word can save you.